Hey guys, welcome to Asi Nomasss Podcast. I'm Valeria.
I'm Aurora.
And today's topic, well, we don't have a topic this time. It's actually a little different. We're going to be interviewing Aurora. I thought I said weird something. You're going to make fun of me. But anyways, it was Aurora's idea to do like a get to know us because we realized we never really did anything like that. We just started recording and people just started watching us. But we never really explained who we are, like.
I guess in our first video, we did get really deep, like right off the bat. We didn't even introduce ourselves.
Yeah, we just started
saying like, I have traumas, like started breaking down. You're like, I've been in this relationship. And, X, Y, and Z. Like we started getting so deep in about our lives and mental health and wanting to be better and do better. But we never really introduced ourselves, like who we are at our core, what we like. Our perception on certain things, even though we have,
well, never mind.
we have been very outspoken on certain topics, but we haven't really introduced who we are by explaining like our values. You know what I mean? Like certain questions that we like want to ask each other. My sister also told me like, oh, I want to know what you think about this. So there's a question. So the fact that not only are you guys gonna get to know me a little bit more, maybe even you are gonna get to know some like truth to me that maybe you didn't know before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so this is gonna be Yoya's interview. I don't know what the title will be, but something about interview. So are you nervous or not? She doesn't. No. She only knows 2 of the questions because the plan of the video was to ask each other questions. But then I was like, nah, it's like basically a Q&A. Let's do it a little different. And I know in her mind she's probably like, oh, what's she gonna ask me?
Not really. I'm curious.
I
want to get comfy.
None of them are stupid.
I want to get comfy, and I feel like it's too like a little bit formal. You know what I mean? You're just like, hey, we're gonna do an interview to ask like, just make it chill. You know, like
just, make it chill.
No, because I feel like you're not chill. I feel like you're just like, okay, we're gonna interview her. Like,
well, because to me, I'm never honest about my feelings. I'm feeling a little out of it today. So sorry if I'm coming off as serious.
I can tell.
That's me trying to act.
I felt the vibe.
Like all good, but in my head I feel like.
People are gonna be like, these bitches are all over the place. Last video, I was out of it, now you're out of it.
But I feel like most of the time you are open about when you're feeling off. That's probably the first time I've admitted that. And there's been other videos where I fell off, but I never said it.
Do you struggle with sharing your emotions, or do you struggle with admitting to yourself you feel to yourself?
Because I'm like, if I say it, then it's gonna make me feel in a bad mood. So let me just act like I'm okay. I did my makeup, I did my hair. Clearly, I'm fine.
And that makes sense because when you say something, you are speaking it into existence. So if you say, I'm having a bad day, you're more prone to have an even worse day because you already set the tone for the day. You're saying like, I have a bad day, I'm having a bad day, so
so I guess in a sense,
so it's gonna keep being bad instead of saying like, you know what, I'm gonna make today a better day. How about we start replacing not necessarily negative emotions, but like negative ways of seeing things.
Speaking.
And
also negative speech.
Exactly. So replace it with something better. Not necessarily putting up a facade. Don't fake it, but replace it. So instead of saying I'm feeling off, say, you know, like today's not the best. I haven't had the best morning, but I'm trying to get out of it. I'm gonna make it a better day today. So you saying that is gonna make it better. You know what I mean?
But sometimes, to be honest, I kind of know, like, I agree with you, and that's the mindset I have, but I feel like since I always have that mindset, I don't let myself just be bad. Like, not bad. Like, I don't let myself feel, and then I start getting bitchy because my true emotions are, like, trying to come out. And I'm, like, over here, like, cleaning my room, and then I overstimulate myself, and then let's say, like...
Well, you have to allow yourself to feel what you feel, like...
I think that's why right now, too, I felt, like, formal, because I didn't want to seem, like...
I know, you were too, like... And we're usually, like, in our... If you see our first couple of videos, I was looking at them last time... I seem so like full of light and like so energetic, and we seem so comfy, and like that's what we said we're gonna do, right? It's just kind of like a sit down conversation, like if we're talking to friends. In this case, you know, we're talking to our sibling, just feeling comfortable in our own space and saying whatever we want to freely. But I was telling my sister last time that I'm realizing now that I'm getting older that I'm a very emotional person, which for me is surprising because I've never considered myself an emotional person. If anything, when we were younger, I've mentioned this before, I used to kind of criticize my sister a little bit and tell her like, oh, you're such a crybaby when we were little, right?
And then I never saw you cry.
Because we were the opposite.
Yeah.
Like,
she was very dry, like never cried. And I heard her cry like once or twice and heard her. Yeah. Not saw her, just because we had a sharing bathroom. And that's the only reason why I would even...
That's the only reason you heard me?
Yeah, but like, honestly, like I remember just seeing you as very like... stern.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, the way you were, you were a goody two-shoe in school, and
Like,
maybe. You know what I mean? You're like the very, like, I don't know if you ever look at past you and see how opposite you are from them. You were all about school and no friends, school, work, stern, no emotions. Yeah.
No friends since when? I had like my 2 really close friends.
Yeah. You had your 2 close friends, but I mean like not the partier, not the like.
Oh, okay. I was more like serious.
Yeah,
okay.
you were all about school. You had your 2 close friends.
Okay,
That's true.
okay.
And you were just like, I don't know. I feel like you're a very serious person, even if you don't see it like that. You were very serious, and now you're the
I wouldn't say
opposite of that.
serious. I would say shy. Because with people who were close to me and that knew me and I could be myself with, I was not
you were my sister, so I saw the other side of you, but I saw you as a serious person in general.
Oh, I was. Like in high school, I was just, but I was just more reserved and quiet, but I see how it can come off as serious.
Or like serious about life and opinion.
Yeah, I just wasn't like as open with like how I felt and like, you know what I mean? But now that I'm older, I feel like I'm a very emotional person, not necessarily just emotional, like with the negative connotation to it, just like when it comes to being sad. I'll also happy cry. I'll cry out of frustration. I'll cry if I have like a certain realization or if I'm reflecting about something and you know what I mean? Just
you're remembering something sweet.
If I'm feeling something strongly, it doesn't necessarily have to be that I'm sad. Just it could be that I'm happy, or it could be that I realize
you're a crier.
Within myself. I'm just a crier, yeah.
You're a crier.
But it's a good thing. I feel like I'm seeing it as like I'm seeing the beauty in it because I feel like it's beautiful to see somebody express their emotions so much that you even like want to cry of how much you're feeling it. Okay, we're gonna keep talking and we're not even gonna get to the questions.
Okay.
But yeah, okay.
Well, if anything, you're kind of letting them know a little bit about you.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so back to, this video is about you, if anything. So she's also Sagittarius. She's 25. She's... Well, say like little facts about yourself. Like
just ask the questions already.
No, just before we start.
Okay. My name's Aurora. I love to play tennis. I used to play tennis since I was a little girl. My parents put me like in a whole bunch of different things to kind of figure out what I best liked or what I fit into the most, and that's something that I really like about my parents. They also did that to us with religion. They didn't want to invoke any religion onto us. They wanted us to decide as we grew older what we wanted to believe, which is something that I really like, because now as we're older, we're able to decide what we're gonna believe, or we're gonna, you know, how we're gonna go about it, who we are essentially, yeah. But
tennis.
What else? I wouldn't consider myself like athletic, but I do sometimes like to be outdoors and do outdoorsy stuff. Sometimes.
She always says that. She is athletic. She's always been athletic.
But not like oh my god, I love hiking and I love being out doing exercise.
Okay, but she's always been athletic.
Not like that.
Okay, but there was times where you would go hiking.
But there's levels.
Actually, talking about hiking, she does hike a lot. And she's pretty good at it. She's the type she could run up and down and not feel anything.
Okay, you're exaggerating.
You literally do that. You've done that. Bitch, I couldn't even run it if I wanted to.
I wouldn't consider myself like an extroverted person. I feel like I'm an introverted extrovert. Does that even make sense? I do like my alone time a lot, but when I have really close friends, I love to go out to have a good time. Try new foods. I'm a foodie. I love eating.
I love food.
But I love going to try new places. I love traveling. That I feel like I chase that feeling of like freedom and wanting to like experience a different world, you know, different culture.
Yeah. I feel like you actually like learning.
Yeah.
Like through other people's perspective.
I like, what else do I
She likes talking to strangers.
Yeah, I do like having like, not necessarily small talk, but like good conversations that you could carry on with you, or even if it's just like a sweet conversation, it makes my day, to be honest. What else? Yeah, I don't know, that's just like a small little recap of me. But
yeah. Okay, the first question I have for you is most wholesome memory with a stranger.
Okay. Sometimes when people ask me questions in regards to like your favorite memory with this, or like what's you know, like an embarrassing story, like my mind always blanks out because I can't really think of specific memories, even though I carry a lot of them with me. But I feel like I already know why you asked this question, because I feel like I'm always one to have like sweet encounters with strangers, and either they make my day, or I remember a certain conversation and it's something that like they taught me in that moment, or you know. But one that I mentioned before was with Roberto, the janitor at our gym, when he's not a stranger no more, right? But in that moment, he came up to me and he randomly just wanted to give me like a necklace of a cross. And I remember it was like around the time where I was starting my spiritual journey, which it's still like an ongoing journey for me, because this is something new for me. As I mentioned before, I've never really been as spiritual or like connected to my faith. So when he gave me that, I don't really cry sometimes in front of people, but I came home and I was crying, and I thought it was so sweet. And I feel like sometimes it could be the universe or God puts people in front of you in that precise moment for a reason. And that's why I feel I've had so many encounters with strangers. I feel like God is in them, if that makes sense. I feel like he's kind of like those are like the messengers, or I feel like,
that's sweet.
I don't know, that's how I view it. Also recently, this was like super recent, this was like 2 days ago, but it was a sweet moment. I got some 2 gems. Shout out to Electric Smile.
She was actually at the end.
Yeah, and so I am a very transparent person, and I told them how I was struggling with my mental health again recently. You know, it comes in waves sometimes, and I've mentioned how my mental health can be really good for a couple months, and then it goes down again and up again. So these past 2 months, roughly, have been off for me again. So that day, honestly, I was feeling very off, very out of it. So I don't even know, we were just having like a short conversation, and I told them how like I was struggling with my mental health again. And right as I was about to leave, she gave me a book. She was like, oh, you know, I read this book and I really liked it. I made some notes in there, and I thought it was super sweet. It like warmed my heart, and in that moment I was like, oh, you know, like somebody might be like, oh, that's such a small like moment, but for me the small moments are the biggest moments. You know what I mean? I like small conversations that like help you feel better with people, or you know what I mean? So in that moment I just thought it was very sweet that somebody would be kind enough to give me something that's theirs to start off with, and to think of me in that way, like thinking like, oh, you know, I'm gonna give her something that's gonna help her ultimately. They're spreading kindness, they're spreading love, and if anything, that says a lot about them. And it really made me feel good that, honestly, as soon as I left, I started crying. I was like walking to my car, so I was like on the sidewalk, like, hold on until you get to your car. But I was like, couldn't help it, so like, I was like already getting teary-eyed, and then I got in my car and started like bawling, to be honest. But it felt like a good cry. I kind of was just like letting it out. I just thought it was very sweet. And I was gonna send her a message, which I haven't yet, but I thought it was very sweet that, you know, not necessarily strangers, or it could be acquaintances, or people that you come across are gonna be just genuine. You can tell when somebody's genuine.
Yeah, you can.
And
you definitely can.
That's the example I thought about right now, just because it was a couple days ago. But like I said, I've had a lot of encounters like that with people that are just very sweet and genuine. And I love experiencing that because it shows humanity, you know? I love talking about real things with people, not just about the superficial shit. Don't get me wrong, like, it's okay to have small talk. Yeah, we don't always have to talk about, like, life and the meaning of this and that, because people are going to be like, the shallow people are going to be like, oh, I don't want to always talk about, like, deep conversations. I can have small talk, too, if you want to talk about fucking, you know, some bullshit. I can talk about small stuff, too, but I prefer meaningful talks that are going to add to me. You know, and I guess that's how I'll answer that question.
Okay. I like that response. I like that you shared that moment, so.
Yeah, I thought it was very sweet. Hurry up.
What's your... Cállate. Hurry up. After a wholesome moment. What are your biggest fears? Or what is your biggest fears? People have sometimes more than one. It could be anything. It could be like literally like it. Some people have really big fears over animals.
So I'll say like the small one, then I'll say the big one. I think we've answered this before in the Q&A, but it's fine. I'll say it again.
Okay.
Yeah. My basic fear is heights. I wouldn't honestly, even if you offered me like 10 million, which is crazy, I know. I'm not gonna do skydiving. I know, as much as I like adrenaline, 'cause I like speed.
Yeah.
I like speed.
Oh,
I like
true.
like that type of adrenaline, but it depends the type of heights we're talking about. Like, for example, I can do like the log ride. For example, if you know, like at Disneyland, or like California Coasters if you're local here at Arizona. Splash Mountain. Like, I'll get on something like that.
Okay.
And it's, some people would be like, oh, if you're scared of heights, you wouldn't get on that. But I'll get on something like that, but no roller coasters. Like, that's Yeah, I feel like honestly I would faint.
That's so
or
different
I would
from
get a heart
old you.
attack.
Old you was so like
I've never liked roller coasters.
I remember old you would wanted to fucking skydive and bungee jump and all that stuff. You would always say you're like, I'm gonna do it for my birthday.
No, never.
I don't know you. Okay, you did say that.
No, if I said that I was tripping, I was probably.
Te lo juro, and I remember I mentioned it again. You're like, I don't know why I said that. That was loca.
Exactly.
I know, but
It's probably like a phase of mine. But no, honestly,
I
don't like.
You were
I don't
like all that
like
stuff.
heights.
I guess that's like different from old you. I'm talking about teenager you.
No, I've never liked roller coasters. Never.
I remember you. Okay, well, I'm not talking about like rides in general. I remember you would get on all that stuff. You never.
Yeah,
were fearful of it.
rides. But one thing is rides and roller coasters. It's two different things.
Okay. And then what's the other?
And then the other one would be like fear of failing, fear of not following through with my potential, fear of just not being successful to the capacity that I know I can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that was self-explanatory.
Mhm.
Okay. Honestly, that's not one of my fears, but I feel like people that do anything like this, I feel like that's all something that's always in the back of our mind.
What? Oh, okay.
Fear of failure, you know?
Anything that has to do with like making your own business, starting your own business, anything with content creation, anything in that regard.
It's scary.
It's a risk. Being a salesperson, a lot of people don't want to take that risk because, you know, you might not get the results that you want.
Yeah.
But you gotta take risks in life because if you don't take a risk, then you're gonna stay stagnant in what you're doing and live that minimalist life, which is okay. Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But if that's not what you want in your heart, those aren't your life desires, it kind of sucks that you're not gonna take a risk only because you're scared. You know, which a lot of people don't. They're older and they try to.
They'll die with the ifs. What if I would have done that?
Exactly. Or they want their kids to accomplish what they didn't, and they put this pressure on their kids too. You know
and they always say a lot of people on their deathbed, they always talk about their regrets. You know, so
I'd rather go for it and be like, okay, I went for it, I didn't succeed, but at least I know that I did it instead of being like, oh, what if I would have tried it, you know?
Okay, this one, I feel like it leads to that. Well, not really, but if you had the chance to make one wish and could get anything you want, what would it be? Like, you could wish for anything. A situation, an item, like, it could be anything. So, like, I want you to actually reflect on it and actually think about it and, like...
No, I know. I would say... It's because there's so many things.
But what is the one thing you always
think about? I was thinking about, like, world starvation, but then again, that's so, like, still narrow. You know? But and it's only one I could pick. Or world peace. But then again,
world peace would be better though.
But then again, world peace isn't really like starvation or health or.
Yeah, if there's peace in the world, there's peace in every aspect.
Okay, so then world peace.
Yeah.
Because all like money, that's so like now, like you know what I mean. Like if I had one wish to change anything, yeah, that's what it would be.
I like that.
Yeah.
I remember you had asked me that one time. Y también te dije algo así. Because I don't know how people wouldn't want it. Like, because then you get all the money. To be honest, well, me personally, I feel like, I would have all the money, but I would still be stressed. Like, I'd be seeing things, like, about Palestine. I'd be so stressed, like, just seeing all these things, like, knowing that I can't help. Yeah, I have the money and the house.
A lot of people are so egocentric, though. It's just focused on them that they don't really care. They pretend like they care.
To be honest,
share a story on your Instagram and pretend you care, but do you genuinely care? You know
the fucking AI picture people have been sharing feels a little bit like for show.
Oh, that's why I didn't share it.
Yeah, me too. Because I feel like I haven't seen no one... I've seen people that don't post anything about it, and then they've been sharing that because it's a trend, right? It's like, so you only care for humans when it's a trend, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
That makes me annoying. But good thing you didn't share. You saw that too. Like the ungenuineness. Ingenuineness of it. Okay, this is the one that I wanted to ask you. It's kind of a different topic, but... Like, it's broad, but I want you to think of it broadly, because I want to see what comes to mind for you. What are your thoughts on being a woman?
My thoughts on being a woman. Womanhood is so versatile that my definition of being a woman can be so different from somebody else's definition of being a woman.
Yeah.
So, my opinion is that, first off, be whoever the fuck you want to be. Express yourself however you want to express yourself. Dress however you want to dress. Do whatever you want to do, ultimately. Your gender doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, distinguish your role in society, which a lot of people disagree with that. People think that there's a certain role that genders have to play. In my eyes, if I have to describe what womanhood is, it's not necessarily a role. It's not like, oh, a woman has to do this. It's more... Because it's not even about femininity or masculinity. You could be a really masculine woman or a very feminine woman.
Yeah.
And I am big on expressing both because I have both sides. Sometimes I've leaned more towards this one, and then I've leaned more towards... You're interviewing me.
Sorry.
And then you're leaning more towards this one. I like my masculine side. I like being like tomboyish, getting some dirt under your nails. But I also like being feminine and being girly. You know, so I don't know, I guess for me womanhood is embracing who you are at a core. But then again, it's like not really answering the question because that could be for like manhood.
Okay, but it's still good.
But okay, so being a woman is just like, embracing who you are at a core, the real you.
The camera died.
It died, but I was basically saying that as a woman, you play your role however you want to play your role. If that's being a housewife, then so be it. If that's going after the career of your dreams, so be it. If that's, you know, I don't know, having multiple jobs and going 50-50 with your partner. If that's you being submissive to your partner and wanting to go about your life a certain way, then, you know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with anything. Also, people just stop judging and making it seem like one way is the way to go for both sides. Don't get me wrong. I see, like, you know what I mean? Stop judging the woman that wants to be submissive and be a housewife
as long as she's not being
and be in her femininity in that way. And also stop judging the person who is very goal oriented and wants to go after her dreams and is very independent and maybe is the breadwinner ultimately between her and her partner. Whatever you want to do, I think both sides should stop judging one or the other. And that's what I think.
I agree. I hate when people try to, like, not everything works for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next question would be, well, I'll ask you this one. What is a life lesson you've learned so far?
I feel like there's a lot of things I've learned this far in different aspects of my life. But, I mean, if I could choose one, a certain life lesson. Something so simple, but that at the end of the day, all you got is yourself. With that being said, including family, including friends, including partners, you know, loving relationships. Is that how you say it? Love relationships? You know, whatever, relationships, huh? Yeah. And whatever aspect that is. I feel like you should be able to stand on your own and know that you got yourself regardless of what happens in your life and who you lose. And yeah, just to keep it short and sweet, that's it. I think what's one of the life lessons, that you should be able to stand on your own feet and be able to be like, I got this and I don't really need anybody. I would love these people in my life, but if things don't go how I want them to, I'm still going to be okay.
I like that.
That's one of the life lessons
that's actually
I've learned this far. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that I've lost that I would love in my life. But if that's just not what is meant for me, or if that's just not what God wants for me, or if maybe that's just not the person that I am anymore, and my life has to change, even including with my surroundings and people, my social circle, then so be it. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, just to keep it short because I can keep talking, but that's one of the life lessons that I've learned. And to also invest in yourself. Physically, mentally, financially. Always invest in yourself. And try to be the best you can be for you. You'll be so much happier. You know, in your health, in your physicality, in your wardrobe, in your career, and having higher expectations for yourself in a relationship. You know, in every aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like your responsible.
To be honest. Me too.
I didn't think you would say something. I thought, not that I didn't think you'd think like that, just I was expecting a different answer. So I like that you made it.
There's a couple life lessons that I've learned, but that's one of them. 2 of them, right? I said 2.
Yeah. But in general, I like how you made it about individuality, like that's the advice that you learned, you know? About self.
Yeah, about self.
Actually, What's a characteristic that you really share someone having, or respect someone having?
Share? What you said again?
Cherish.
Oh.
I said it right. I think I said it right.
A characteristic that really
cherish or respect someone having, like, and then go explain why. I guess you could say.
I could think of a couple. Kindness. Following through with what you say you're gonna do. I feel like I really admired that, because you say you're gonna do something and you follow through with your words. It's not just all talk. You say something and you go about it that way. You know, it's very respectable. What else? Being humble.
Yes, I agree.
Especially people that are high up here and you're humble. You know what I mean? Anybody who's humble, but like especially if you got money or things that could easily just brainwash you to being a different type of person and you still remain humble, that speaks a lot about you, in my opinion. You give back to the community. You're not arrogant with what you got, and you got a lot. You know what I mean? Like Adam Sandler, like he's so humble. Like we make fun of his outfits, how like they're so like simple.
Yeah, the memes and stuff.
But like he's so like true to himself. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like
J. Cole would
he doesn't have to impress anybody. Like if I'm rich, you're still gonna catch me in like the most ratchet clothes sometimes. Like if I go to the grocery store, you know, I'm not gonna dress up for other people.
That's being human.
But what else? Yeah, something that I really respect on others is just respect. Being humble, kind, and following through with what you say.
Okay. Man,
and being honest, even if like
I'm surprised you didn't say that one.
Yeah, because I'm very blunt. I know the truth hurts sometimes, but if you say it how it is, without having to sugarcoat shit, I respect that too, because I know that you're being real in my face, rather than putting up a facade and going behind my back and say something. You know?
Oh yeah.
So I respect those things.
What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Sometimes it's hard to remain optimistic on life and your future and what it holds for you and who you're going to become and what you're going to do with your life. So it's hard to like even be motivated to keep going, because I've been there and I've been really, really low, and I've been in a very dark place. I was going to say in dark places, but I've been in a very dark place. And sometimes I didn't want to keep going.
Yeah.
Pero
is there something specific?
When I'm feeling good and positive, I would say what keeps me going is the vision that I have for myself. Knowing who I can become. Or not even that, is I envision my highest self. Basically, in other words, right? Mm-hmm. And I see everything I can do, everything she can do, everything that she's doing, you know. I see myself accomplishing all my goals, and I'm like, okay, like, I gotta put in the work right now and keep going in order for me to be her, you know? Because we all have so much potential. Well, not all of us. Sounds okay. We have so much potential. It depends if you follow through with putting in the work. Because if you don't put in the work, you're not going to reach your highest self. You're not going to reach that highest potential because you never put in the work. You know, you can... I saw this before to my sister. I saw it on a video last time. You can pray and manifest all you want to, which they're beautiful things to do. Don't get me wrong. But also, action is a big part of it. You also have to... You can't just... pray or manifest things and expect them just to come to you. Like, you also gotta put yourself out there and put in the work and study and
whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah.
Some people want to work on themselves, but then when they get tested, they don't follow through. Like, some people, I want to be more patient. You know?
Oh.
It's about putting the work in when those, like, it could be about characteristics, it could be about career goals.
This is something so small.
Anything.
But I'm a person who's very impatient. Leading to like my road rage. When I was younger, I used to have a lot of road rage. Like, I'd be the one that would like flip people off, like honk at them, and be like, I feel like you'll be.
That's like the nice thing.
And now I got tested yesterday on my way to work.
Ironically, I brought it up. Okay.
Like, okay, I don't understand why people do this.
Wait, this is my first time hearing.
But like the lane was ending, so I had to like merge into another lane. I understand you're not gonna let every car get in front of you, but like, come on, at least let one car get in front of you. Like, what's the harm to you?
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, So I was gonna merge into the lane, but the dude didn't want me to go in. So I was like slowly going in, but then he like moved his car for me to not get in. I was like, all right, bitch. But I got behind him, caught up to him, and I looked at him.
She always does petty stuff like this.
I just want to see him. I'm like, let me see your stupid face. Let me see who I'm dealing with, you know? So I started doing it. He just like looked at me and he was like, it just made me laugh.
Yeah.
So literally I just looked at him.
But that's how you looked before too.
I literally just cracked up. Like he was like this and I was like, like that. Yeah. I literally just cracked up and I was like, okay. I was like, I'll love him. I just wanted like a little heart. But it was just funny to me like how people can be so angry to like just react so
petty.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I've been there before. I'm not saying there's something wrong with having a little bit of road rage. I get it. But like, you know, to be so passionate about somebody just getting in front of you and having the need to like flip me off.
It gave you the perspective
of
like that.
Like, you look a little crazy, dude. Like, are you having a bad day? Like, are you bitter? Like, it's not the end of the world. It's just, it just made me laugh. So I saw that as me being tested.
I'm glad you saw that perspective.
Being put in a situation where I'm like, how am I gonna react? Like the old me or like the me that I'm trying to be? I'm trying to be more calm and like spread love, you know? But it's hard when I get tested.
No, because you will always be tested.
Bitches.
Yeah. Okay, camera died again. At this point, it's routine.
So, yeah, it just dies a lot on us. Or not necessarily died, it just gets really hot.
And it turns
off.
It
just turns off, yeah, automatically. But, well, there's some questions that I feel like give you guys a better insight of maybe my view on life or on certain things, how I think. That doesn't necessarily mean you guys are going to know me, you know, but just to get to know me a little bit more. And then for the next video, I'm going to be asking her questions so you can get to see how she thinks on certain things. And yeah, well, we hope you guys like this video. Something short. It was serious, I feel like. Not necessarily too...
Maybe more intimate.
Yeah, it was just asking me questions. It was supposed to be like interview vibes, you know? Just like her asking me questions on certain topics or to get my opinion on something. But yeah, and the next time I'll be doing the same thing to her. So we hope you guys like this video, and we'll see you guys next time. And yeah, you want to say anything?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it. And we'll see you guys next Monday. Tune in. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what the fuck I did that.
I'll leave that in.